Due to how relatively unsolved the Borderlands 2 meta still is, I see a lot of contention between the Slagger and the Florentine in use as a tool in your 4 weapon slots. I think this contention is mainly a disparity in what people are actually expecting out of trying the Florentine, thinking it's going to be an upgrade to the Slagger, a direct upgrade to the Slagger, and that they're disappointed after finding out that it simply just doesn't work as good as a slagging tool as the Slagger itself. Though I think due to the limited amount of playtesting some of these people do, they miss out on how real the benefits of using a Florentine really are. And today I wanted to talk about my recently found love for using the Florentine, especially on Gage and Krieg. So the Florentine is a very unique weapon. It's one of the weapons that have 2 different elements attached onto the thing. As you can see on the weapon card, we deal slag and shock damage. The way this works is that the initial projectile is a slag bullet with a 50% shock damage taped onto that. And as we can see, it has an 18% slag chance with these parts. I got my Malawan grip and stuff. And that's in contrast to the 26.3% on my Malawan grip Slagger. So with the higher fire rate by 0.8 on the Slagger, and like the bouncing bullets on Gage and other skills and whatnot, we can see that the Slagger at face value is going to be a better tool purely for slagging. Though one of the big things that's really going for the Florentine is that it appeals to people that use all-purpose loadouts. So this is like how you can see that I usually run a fire and a corrosive fibber both in my slots, and then I'll switch to a different prefix once I have anarchy stacks. But regardless, I will have a fire and corrosive fibber, and I'll have my slag tool, and I'll usually have an electric shotgun for my neutral damage, boosted with all my skills. And the Florentine, as well as getting your electric buffs, which is pretty okay on Gage, it's not superb, I suppose, but it's something to consider. We can use this as a really good tool for slagging and dealing damage. This is also true for Krieg, because he can get a lot of stacks of the Florentine very easily while slagging and getting shit done. The Slagger isn't going to do as much damage as the Florentine on your Gage build, and sometimes you'll really want to keep shooting an enemy with your Slagger, but it's just that little bit like away from being good, essentially, for running around and shooting. But the Florentine is a lot more usable just as a weapon itself, especially when you get to those high anarchy stacks like 300, like 250, 300-ish, before you start looping. Well, around when you start looping your Discord. You can get really good DPS out of this. And because of the fact that you don't have to be switching over to your damage dealing gun, say I'm running a Deeper. I don't run a Deeper, but let's say we're running a Deeper in my 1 slot. Sometimes you just won't need to switch to your Deeper, because this is going to kill most things in OP10. Honestly, it's just going to kill most things without needing to switch to your crotch, sorry. And in real gameplay situations, that's going to give you a lot more actual DPS, because especially if you're running a shotgun as your main damage dealing gun. So I've got a butcher here, and we can see the switch there. As a gauge player, that feels super slow, because I'm used to playing with so much movement speed in Unstoppable Force and running around like an idiot. I play like a total idiot sometimes. And I just need to be looping my blood-soaked shields and stuff. Because on Gauge, you really have to maximize as much DPS as you can get, because she is parasitic to the game. And if you're not killing stuff, you're gonna die. And you just want to squeeze all that DPS out, because you're just gonna die, simply put. So though it takes longer to slag with the Florentine, I've recently found that it's actually a very, very, very good weapon. And some of you will very much so agree with this. And then on the polar opposite side, there's a really huge contrast. Like, I used to think this weapon was abhorrent garbage, to be honest. I thought it was crap, because I used to just run my slagger, and I thought, why do I need this thing? It sucks as a slagger replacement. But it's not a slagger replacement. It's the Florentine, and it's its own weapon, and it has these different uses. So I hope that helped you actually consider trying out this weapon. I really, really recommend it at this point, especially if you're playing on Gauge or Krieg, because it is super useful. And yeah, if you guys want me to get opinions on any other weapons, I can do that easy peasy. I'm a professional gamer. Alright, thanks for watching.